Welcome once more to Dháre's Dosage. I'm Jean Dháre, and we've made our way to day 9 of our Absolutely Authentic series. So we're almost at the halfway point, not quite, but working our way there. And so I felt that it was appropriate to just have a chat about consistency, because consistency is key. It's definitely key. You may or may not have heard that phrase before, and if not, I'm sure it resonates with you in some way. But what does it mean to be consistent about something? All being consistent is basically following through with what you set out to do, what you say you're going to do, be that to other people, or most importantly and foremost to yourself. Because whether or not you even verbalize or vocalize to any other being, if there's something that you set out for yourself and you tell yourself that you're going to do, it's important that we follow through with that, because that enables you to build trust with yourself. We have to be able to hold ourselves accountable to some things. So consistency is key. And really what it is when you're consistent with actions, when you set a target of some sort, some kind of goal or ideal outcome, and then when you take whatever steps are necessary to reach towards that, it's like the equivalent of putting gas into your car, putting gas into the tank. It's going to allow it to propel forward. But without consistency, without following through on actions, without putting gas into the car, you ain't gonna go nowhere. Okay, you are not going anywhere. So for example, I'm gonna fall back and use my art. Now, I know I shared in another video that I did come to the realization that for me, art in terms of painting, specifically painting, because, okay, just a quick sidetrack. I consider myself a visual artist, and when I say that, it's because painting is not my only medium. I love to do things that are craft-like, and then people that know me very much know that my artistry pretty much touches every aspect of my life and being. So if you enter my space, you're gonna know that an artist lives there, or an artist has touched that space, be it a bedroom or my home or office space. You're gonna just kind of pick up that there's a sense of artistry going on. Okay, but anyway, specifically with the painting, I've come to realize that that is a talent of mine, but it's not necessarily my gift. And the distinction that I made between the two of those before, as a reminder, or if this is your first time seeing me, talent is something that you're skilled at, whereas a gift is something that I'll say it's more intense, and there is more power behind it, and it's more purpose driven. So a talent may or may not fall into your gift, but your gift is definitely purpose driven. So for example, I'm a talented painter, but what I considered my gift is my ability to teach around the realms of health and mentality and improving ourselves as being, and then specifically catering to women as my demographic. That's my gift. That is my lifetime drive, passion, and what I'm here and been set on this planet to do. That's the gift. But anyway, to use my painting and experience as a painter, visual artist as an example with consistency, I've shared that I've gone through times where I poured a lot of energy and effort into my art. So there were periods where I was out on the street selling my art, and during that time I noticed that when I was really proclaiming myself as that artist and as that painter, the opportunities started flowing to me. So sure, I sold some paintings on the streets, but sometimes I was spotted by people and opportunities came my way. So for example, I had a restaurant owner approach me, and she invited me to come sell and display some art at a wine tasting at a restaurant. And for example, through a friend of a family, that type of situation, heard that I was, deep into my art, pushing, selling it, and just, being an artist. and I got invited to paint a mural at an elementary school. I've got invited to go teach children painting, and more than one occasion. So the opportunities start flowing to you when you actually just pour your energy and efforts into things. One memorable experience I had was painting live on stage while someone recited poetry. That was a pretty cool experience. So, and those were not things that I was seeking out. Those were things that came to me. Now, I know for a fact that if I had continued, the reason why I kind of fell back on my painting and my visual art in that sense is, like I said before, I uprooted my life and moved across the country to start my family. And during that time, I allow myself to fall back from the painting. I allow myself to do that. And I don't have any regrets about that, because during that time, I was able to move even deeper and more fully into Dháre's dosage, and started diving even deeper into my health studies, even side note, like I was teaching, this was completely voluntary, but within the community I was in, I started teaching a weekly Saturday class that I would pour hours of research into during the week, and then I call it Supreme Wellness. And then we hop on a call on Saturday, and I'd spend an hour or so teaching about herbs and natural medicines and food, things to do to improve our physical vessels. And, that's stuff that's going to stick with me through a lifetime. That knowledge base is steady building. But anyway, like I said, I allowed myself to fall back on in terms of the art realm. And I don't have any regrets about that, because I have absolute clarity, where I stand now, that's just a talent that I have that I'm going to carry with me throughout the lifetime. But it doesn't necessarily have to be my ultimate thing that I do as far as, my purpose. But I just use that as an example, because it's a very concrete example of when you're being consistent. Because, when I was in that realm of going hard as an artist, I was consistent. I had a regular 9-to-5 corporate job, and then I would come home and I would paint. And then eventually, I let that go, the job itself. And so I had even more time to paint and be out selling art and everything. But I was just consistent, the time that I had, picking up that paintbrush, getting the paint, popping on the music, and just going at it, just creating and creating and creating. That was being consistent. Even taking that step to go out and sell, doing pop-up shops. I keep saying on the streets. That makes it sound so low grade. But what I was doing was making pop-up shops. Go around with either cart full of paint, whether I was walking locally or loading it in a car, what have you. And, I made it very systematic. I'd have my iPad, have my Excel sheets, have my art inventory, how much I was selling it for, what I sold that day. But it was a consistent flow of energy. Create and go put out. Create and go put out. And as I said, other opportunities arose as a result of that. So consistency, it's a power in itself. And then I think why it kind of popped up as a topic for during this time is, for one, I set out to do this 21-day dialogue journey with you here at Dháre's Dosage as kind of a launch of my video presence of that space of dosage. So, it feels good just to be moving along in that track, being accountable with you, being accountable with myself, and being consistent. And this isn't a practice that's just going to stop and in here. I'm going to be consistent in my actions as I'm getting other things together, behind the scenes to, just get my life into a state that's in, I don't want to say a better flow, but just in a state where I'm a bit more comfortable, in terms of income earning and being physically where I want to be in the space in which I'm living. So yes, consistency is key. Note to self and note to you. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Nothing mind blowing, but sometimes we just need those simple reminders to keep us going. Maybe you have some side jewelry business that you're promoting, or You know, maybe you make soaps and candles, and maybe you may have put that down, and something's been telling you, hey, maybe I can pick that back up. Or, you know, maybe it's something along the realm of personal growth. You know, maybe it's some kind of study that you started and you put back down. But, you know, let this be an inspiration and reminder to pick it back up. You know, like I said, whether it's monetary or whether it's just self-growth related, whether it's health related, maybe you started some kind of new eating pattern or next level plan. You know, just stay consistent. Consistency is key. Just keep putting that gas in the tank, and you will go somewhere with it. All right, so now that's it. I'm sending you so much peace and power and love, and may you stay supremely well.